Sorry, I'm late, guys.
Hey, Matt, we're live. But you're good. Hello, everybody, and welcome tonight to Bristol Motor Speedway. You've seen us racing here earlier this week in the SK Modifieds and the Super Late models, but tonight we move up to the big boys, the Cup cars in the NASCAR series. So looking forward to tonight. I'm Zach Wetstein. I'm here with Sam Wetstein and Matt Geis. How y'all doing tonight?
I am ready for some beating, some banging, some Bristol, baby.
Yep, we got...
Hey, Matt.
Yeah, Matt's here with us tonight.
I'm doing good, guys. Sorry about that. I'm still setting up some technical stuff, but I'm right with Sam here to see some short track action.
Absolutely. Half-mile track, 24 to 28 degrees of banking. It is progressive, so you're going to see these guys kind of use up the whole track if they're able to, but when you're side by side, that gets a little bit more challenging. 81 degrees is the track temperature here tonight to start off, and we are qualifying. Cameron Combs currently has the pole position. He's leading the points so far in the series with 2 wins on the year, average finish of 6, and he's up 52 points over Clint Reese. So he's looking to have another strong performance tonight, and we'll see if he's able to cap it off with a win, as we still have a lot of people left to qualify. So we're going to go ahead
William
and
Griffith just took the pole.
Go ahead and check them out. Let's get your sound on. As he mentioned, William Griffith with the pole spot now over Cameron Combs. Here's Will Paisley, who loves short tracks, loves the pit strategy on short tracks. So we're going to see if he uses that to his advantage tonight as he's wheeling that 93 machine around turn 3 and 4. And he gets the pole spot away from William Griffith.
Ooh,
just barely faster.
1/1000th of a second.
I'll tell you what, that William Paisley is lightning fast. That kid can get around a track like nobody else. It seems like he dominates most. He's a mile and a half, so it looks like short tracks are no different.
Garrett Kinder sets the new fastest time, so we just have a bunch of people topping, other times, and we still have Jeff Paisley, Jason Warren, Tanner Marr to qualify, as Tanner Marr is qualifying right now. But Jason Warren specifically, he loves these short tracks, and he's yet to qualify, so we might see another person take the pole away from someone else.
I'm paying attention to Jeff Paisley at the moment. See if he can do anything with Will's time there.
As Tanner Marr qualifies 4th, Jeff Paisley on track. This scheme was supposedly, I don't know if it's this scheme, but Will Paisley said he built a scheme for his dad, so if this is it, well done by Will. Nice looking car there, but he's going to have to start in 9th at least, so he has a little bit of work to do tonight. As Joey Buscemi on track, going to look to lay a fast lap down. This track is unlike many other tracks, obviously. With how much banking it has and with how short it is, it all kind of works together with being one of the fastest short tracks really in the world. And so we're gonna see a lot of high groove racing tonight, but don't be surprised to see a lot of aggressive driving down to the bottom trying to make a pass. But if one of you wants to take us through, it can be tough to pass in the bottom here.
Yeah, 125, 130 miles an hour down the straightaways here at a little half-mile track, and going into them banking and just trying to hold on to it through the banking without it going up into the wall or going up into the guy next to you. And it happens really, really fast. Everything happens fast at Bristol.
Well, that, and then when you have no sight line going down the track. So if something happens, you're not going to see it until you're running right up into it. And that
Oh,
can make
sorry
it
about that.
tricky and bang up an awful lot of cars, which is exciting for us, but bad for the guys on the track.
And Clint Reese come up and take the second position.
Yeah, Clint Reese mentioned that he is second in the points right now, had a Jason Warren 10 points ahead of him. Clint has a win of his own this season, and so he has a lot of ground to make up on Cameron Combs, but again, he can do it tonight. He gets the pole spot away from Garrett Kinder, and I think one of his biggest competitors for that pole spot is on track right now, Jason Warren. Oh, Jason touches the wall.
It's a little wall. A lot of wall.
So this lap is not going to count, so he's going to have to depend all on that lap too. So that can be a lot of pressure sometimes.
Jason likes to get amped up, and I think his foot goes through the floorboard a little too often when he's qualifying.
I kind of almost want to see Jason start in the back. We can see him move up to the front.
Nice looking paint scheme on that 32. He stays clean the second lap, and he's going to go up to the pole spot.
Wow.
Look at that. He bounces off the wall and still grabs the pole. That's
Yeah.
That's
I'll put everybody else on notice right there.
Can we get an EOL for the 32, please?
Ray Page on track in that 41. Well, he does the same thing as Warren on the first lap, so maybe he can replicate the second lap from Warren. Just bang the wall on the first lap and then boom, just throw a banger of a lap up on that second time around. So we're going to see what Ray can do the second time around. He regroups himself and is able to keep it clean so far. And he will. So let's see where he qualifies with that. He will qualify 11th behind Spencer Gay.
He is part of that full send race team, so I guess maybe they practice together too much. They're hitting the wall at the same spot.
Now, here's my strategy.
Mickey Isaac in the 01 Toyota goes up to the 17th spot with that first lap.
It's a beautiful paint scheme, and one of our original members right there. He's a anchor, core part of this league. I'm excited to see how much he's improved since he started.
He is going to have to work a little bit in this race to get up into that top 10, qualifying 17th. So he's going to have to make some magic happen in the race, but no doubt he can make it work. And right now we have 20 qualified. We have 25 in the session, but nobody else qualifying as of now. So we'll go ahead and pull up the schedule real quick while we have this break in time. We have 1:40 left. Let me get that.
You got to watch out for Mickey. I raced against him Thursday night here at Bristol, and he's sneaky. He'll move up to the front, and you won't even notice it. Before you know it, he's up in the top 5.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's one of those quiet but consistent type guys, that's for sure.
Well, after a 2-week break here at Bristol for 200 laps tonight, Talladega next week, so it doesn't get any easier. And then we head to Dover, so 3 straight, and really it's been 4 straight races with Martinsville and Michigan flipping before the break. Martinsville, Bristol, Talladega, and Dover are not easy tracks, but then we head to Auto Club, Kentucky, and Chicagoland, so it kind of chills out a little bit more after Dover, with Auto Club being a 2-mile track, and then you got the 1.5 miles in Kentucky, and I believe Chicagoland is 1.5 miles as well, before we head into our last bye week before the playoffs, and then we run 5 races out to the end: Texas, Homestead, Talladega, Richmond, and just like season 1, we're going to end the season at Charlotte for 133 laps, or 200 miles, and crown a champion. So for you two, Matt, I'll let you go first. What track out of the remaining schedule are you looking forward to the most?
Well, that depends. Looking forward to watch or drive. I love watching the super. Yeah, I love watching the super speedways. Especially our league's come so far, man. When it comes to drafting and running those super speedways, that's going to be an exciting race because it's all about the draft. It's restrictor plate racing. Anybody can come out on top. So these guys you see dominate every week, the chances are they may not win. You can get a sneaky winner out of them sometimes, and there's nothing better to watch than something like that.
I got to agree with Matt. Watching wise, it'd be Talladega. I look forward to all the tracks, but I could put you on the list of the one I least look forward to is Chicago.
All right, so we're gridding up. So we're going to get you guys through the grid. Row 1 is Jason Warren and Clint Reese.
In row 2, we got Garrett Kinder starting on the inside in 3rd, William Paisley in 4th.
Row 3, 5th place William Griffith and Tanner Marr starting 6th on the outside.
And in 7th spot, Cameron Combs. In the 8th spot, the number 8, Joey Buscemi.
Row 5, rounding out the top 10, we got Josh Lokenvins and Spencer Gay.
Row 6 on the inside, starting 11th, Ray Page, and Davy Jones starting in the 12th spot.
Let me move this down. All right, 13th, Jeff Paisley and Chris Heiner on his outside in 14th.
15th spot goes to Charles Stevens with Tyler Rice to his outside in the 16th spot.
Row 9, Mickey Isaac and Charlie Elmore starting in 18th.
19th spot goes to Scotty Stevens and Brandon Metler in the 015 is starting 20th.
21st, Michael Swink, and on his outside, Josh Oswald, who loves these short tracks. I'm not sure if he's race control tonight or not. He didn't lay a qualifying lap down, but if he is racing, starting on that outside in 22nd.
23rd, Chuck Feltz, old peg leg himself, and 24th goes to Brandon Wallace.
And then Philip Manzo rounds out the field here tonight, 25 there, and currently it looks like we almost have all 25 out on track. As, yeah, it just looks like Josh Oswald chose not to qualify with many others back there. So, yeah, we could have at least up to 25 cars here tonight at Bristol, which in NASCAR, they're used to having 37 to 40 drivers, but even 25 can be a lot on a track like Bristol.
I think Josh might be taking the start from the back challenge tonight. Josh likes to not qualify at these short tracks, let some of the mess kind of play itself out, and then move his car up towards the front.
All right, well, Jason Warren, Clint Reese, your front row. Garrett Kinder, Will Paisley going to start behind him. Clint Reese and Cameron Combs starting in 7th. Those two fighting for that lead in the championship standings, which it may not seem like it, but we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. So these races are getting more and more important by the week. So Clint Reese starting in a better position than Cameron Combs, as you see in the 4th row on the inside. So Clint Reese going to try to take control of this race here early and hopefully get himself a win to get himself as many points as he can.
I'll tell you what, that top 6 or 8 on that starting grid, you're going to see some fireworks early. There's a lot of talent up there and a lot of guys that like to race aggressive.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, since we do have Matt here, it's a credit to Matt that we got a lot of good racing going on here every night of the week now. When I joined, it was Sunday night trucks, and this Saturday night cup race was a kind of extra fun run kind of deal. And this place has exploded, and it's a lot of thanks to you, Matt, and a lot of the guys that work with you.
Pace car's off. The green flag is out. Jason Warren, a great jump, going to get out to the lead. Clint Reese misses a gear, and he is going to bottleneck that outside line, and that's going to get Garrett Kinder out to 2nd.
And Jason Warren is in another zip code already.
Oh, Garrett Kinder gets loose.
Nice save.
We're a little excited on cold tires, looks like, here. We'll see if they can get settled in.
Yeah, about 3rd lap here, these tires come in and you can really push it, but you got to baby those first 2 laps.
Clint Reese and Will Paisley side by side for that 2nd position right now. Will Paisley going to try to use that outside line to his advantage, and will do so. Now he sets his eyes on Jason Warren, but yeah, only lap 4 of 200, so those cold tires are definitely going to affect the drivers here early on, and they got to take it easy because you got to make it to lap 200. Jason Warren already out to a 1.3 second lead, though, over Will Paisley to start off here.
That might have done something to Garrett's car because he had dropped all the way to the back. He was on the shoulder letting the whole field by before he blended in.
Caution is out. Josh Lokenvents wrecked around, and he might have been wrecked with Garrett Kinder.
I don't think so.
I think Garrett Kinder got caught up in it, but it was a self-wreck by Josh Lokenvents. Because Garrett Kinder was stopped behind him, it looked like. So he's there on the middle of the track. No contact with anybody yet. Morphs through somebody there. And then Garrett Kinder has to stop to avoid him. So yeah, Garrett Kinder all the way to the back of the field, really. Maybe, you know,
you're a hard hit.
You're on cold tires, and if you have a big slide like that, that can really affect those tires early on, and it can get you out of your groove. And Garrett Kinder really didn't get a chance to get into a groove before that happened. But
no,
when you're on cold tires and you almost spin like that, save it. It kind of it scares you a little bit, so you're more careful afterwards.
I wonder if that wasn't do we have net code on the walls now? Because Josh was at the start-finish line when he got loose.
No, he just probably stepped on the gas, and the car wasn't settled yet, and just spun around.
Those cars, they will break loose anywhere on this track, I've noticed. That's one reason why I'm not racing tonight.
Man, you let Jason Warren get out to the lead, though, or get the pole. Even though Will Paisley's been fast, I mean, I believe he has 3 wins this season. Yeah, Will Paisley, 3 wins on the season, and Jason Warren, none. So not only do you have a fast Jason Warren that loves short tracks, but you have a hungry Jason Warren as well. So that could be a scary sight for the rest of the field.
Hungry and fast. What a combination.
Hungry, fast, and not afraid to send it in there either. So he will move you up the track to get around you, and he is skilled enough to do it without wrecking you. So if that 32 is in the front, it's going to be hard to get him out of it.
Jason's told me plenty of times that, you know, he's not as good in these Cup cars, but whenever he seems to be in a good position in the Cup cars, something always goes wrong, whether it's a caution or wrecks himself. So I definitely know he's eager to get his first win in the Cup Series this season, and this is the track to do it. I mean, you know, he doesn't like 1.5 miles as much as the short tracks, and he has a chance tonight at a short track at Bristol. So if he's going to win anything this year, which, I mean, Jason Warren has to win a race eventually, I would definitely put my bets on this one.
Yeah, that's true, and that's a credit to him because he has like a 4,800, 5,000-ish IR rating. He's a short track ringer, we call him. Dominates in the super late model series. But he comes over here to race with us, 1, because we're friends. He knows us all well. And 2, he wants to improve his skill set. He wants to get good at these stock cars on these big tracks. So it's more of a challenge for him, but he's not, you know, he embraces it.
You know, look now, but I mentioned it at the beginning of the race. Mickey Isaac qualifying back here in the 17th spot. It's already moved up to the 11th spot. So, man is sneaky fast. He's going to be up here battling with these guys before it's over.
Front row, and now Jason Warren and Will Paisley. Clint Reese gets to start on the inside this time. The green flag is out, and that inside really what happened to oh, okay, I thought he wrecked or something. I couldn't see Will. I was like, uh-oh. But Will Paisley blinks back in, and he nudges the wall just a little bit, but he's going to get a good enough run to maybe meet Clint Reese into 1.
Going into turn 2 battle for P4 as well, as we got the 12 car, and I believe that is
Cameron Combs in the 15.
William Griffin in the 12. Holy cow.
Let's also not forget there's still spots open for the All-Star race. So some of those guys, 4 or 5 cars back, that's what they're thinking about right now, too.
All to that high line now. That's the preferred line here at Bristol. You want that middle to high line to work, or else you're in trouble. And these drivers making it work. And that's exactly why the inside is so tough to pass on here. It's just because that high line is the preferred line. Whatever the high line is the preferred line, you just don't get a good enough run on that bottom, especially here at Bristol with such short turns that inside line just is so tough to maintain a good drive off compared to that high line. Clint Reese, though, he is starting to catch Jason Warren more than we've seen anybody here early on.
Clint Reese is a real talented driver, so this you're going to see this all night, I think, between 32, 2, and 93. We might get another sneak one in there.
As, looks back there like the 4 of Tanner Mars eager to try to get around Cameron Combs, but that, like I mentioned, the inside's just tough, and you know these guys are going to run that high line and are not going to give you any room to pass them on the outside. If you're going to pass somebody, you're going to have to be aggressive on that inside, because just no one's going to let you to their outside unless you have a good enough run.
I'll tell you what, though, that's some good racing. They're keeping it clean. They're giving each other some room, keeping it respectful. I think they're just trying to wind this race down a little bit, and then we'll see some fireworks here before long.
Cameron Combs getting a little loose there. Almost hit the wall. Oh, he got it that time.
Maybe the wall helped him because he got closer to Griffith.
Yeah. Maybe that's that Jason Warren secret. Hit the wall a couple of times. It makes you quicker.
I hit the wall 4 or 5 times a race. I promise you that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the right side of my car painting Bristol tomorrow, my truck tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Warren and Clint Reese starting to run away with it a little bit. Will Paisley 1.6 seconds back. We talked to him before the race as well, and he was mentioning his brake bias and how he was moving it back a little bit more, and said, you know, it might be a little bit slower, but I think it's going to be better on the long run. And so if we can keep getting green flag laps here, maybe the longer we go, we'll see that 93 machine start to take off as the green flag laps tick by.
Well, you got that, and now we got to consider lap traffic already coming into play to see if this is going to start tightening up that front of the pack here as they work around 20 Charlie Elmore.
Yeah, Clint Reese is not making Jason Warren comfortable at all there. He's keeping the pressure on him.
Yeah, Clint Reese, the goal in that 2 car is to get as close to Warren as you can and then try to use a lap car to set a pick. And that's the best way to pass somebody here at Bristol when you have lap traffic, but just not close enough right now. Jason Warren doing a really nice job at handling lap traffic.
Yeah, Clint was in that lap traffic a little way back, a couple laps back, and got him a little unsettled and gave Warren a little bit more cushion. There's Warren hitting the wall again.
As you're starting to see them, they're coming up on 19th and 20th place, Ray Page and Tyler Rice, and they are battling it out right now. Caution is out, and that means Tyler Rice is going to at least get the lucky dog, but he went a lap down just as soon as that caution came out. Not sure. Oh, Joe Buscemi turned around on the track still. A lot of front end damage to that car. It looks like Philip Manzo. Let's find Philip here. All right, there we go. Philip Manzo here with William Griffith and Cameron Combs, and comes up into Cameron. And as well, Tanner Marr, and big contact from Joe Buscemi. And hopefully that did not injure that motor too much, because in this series, no quick repairs.
Well, Philip Manzo is leading our popular vote for the provisional into the All-Star race right now, and that's one way to lose a vote or two right there.
Cameron Combs and Tanner Marr going, no thank you.
Speaking of the provisional vote for the most popular driver, I am Sam Wetstein, and I do appreciate your vote.
There you go. We got to get you a good campaign going, Sam.
I promise, free cookies forever. No, never mind.
Keeping the cookies to himself.
I'll eat the cookies and watch the race.
As Jason Warren, Clint Reese, Will Paisley, William Griffith, and Cameron Combs, your top 5. Cameron definitely going to have some damage to that car. Let's take a closer look. You see some front end damage, but as long as that motor isn't hurt, that car will be perfectly fine here at Bristol. Aero-wise, damage doesn't really hurt you too much. It might hurt you a little bit getting tight into the turn, but it's not going to hurt you like at these 1.5 miles and 2 miles. So as long as that motor is okay, he should be fine and should still be good enough to maintain the top 5, if not go for a win tonight.
Yeah, Thursday night I drove around here for about 40 laps with a crunched up front end, and as long as the water temperatures are fine, you're good.
So we're not seeing many takers down pit road. Ray Page, Scotty Stevens down pit road, Josh Lokenvitz, Brandon Wallace, and Philip Manzo as well, but they were caught up in that wreck. So it doesn't look like any. A couple of lead lap cars are down pit road, but that's the tail end of the lead lap. So they don't really have much to lose. They can basically go back to the position that they pit from. But when you're up front and you're first, second, even top 10, unless you absolutely need to get fuel and you're inside that window, you don't want to give up that track position.
Yeah, I think I might be hoping for a lot, but if I was at the tail end in this position, I'd go in and at least top off fuel. And you never know, maybe a long green flag run, maybe, cross your fingers, could help you out with that extra fuel.
Hey, whenever we talk about tracks that are tough to get green flag or green flag runs on, I always go back to that Rockingham race. That is a tough track, and somehow they found out how to get a 74-lap run. So it's definitely possible at Bristol. It's a wider track than most of your short tracks that you race at, so it's definitely possible tonight, and we got some good drivers on track. The green flag's back out. Jason Warren and Clint Reese maintain the top two, as well as Will Paisley and William Griffith, but Tanner Marr takes that fifth spot away from Cameron Combs. We're going to get a good look here at how well that car is handling.
Yeah, Tanner Marr caught up in that last wreck, still running fifth.
Yeah, that's true. He did get caught up in that. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Tanner Marr is another one that's not very familiar with short track racing, so he's going to be up here in the top 5 pretty much all night, I'd imagine. And then we got Josh Oswald in that 17, worked his way up to 12 after starting in the rear end of the field.
And old Mickey Isaac in the top 10. The cream is rising to the top.
Yeah, we have a lot of big movers here around 10th to 12th. Like you mentioned, Mickey Isaac, 7 spots up. Michael Swink and Josh Oswald, 11th and 12th right now, are both up 10 positions from their initial starting spot. I thought I saw some records, but they might have just blinked. But yeah, Mickey Isaac and Michael Swink racing hard right now. So Mickey Isaac doing a nice job at moving up, but Michael Swink just looking a little bit faster right now.
Yeah, I've sat here watching Jason Warren scrape the wall a few times already.
Chuck Felt's also up 11 spots in that 75. He's in the top 12 right now.
His high line's definitely the line to go with the Cups, but you get a little too high, and especially coming out of them corners, and that wall sneaks up on you.
Yeah, and I failed to mention it tonight, but usually I do. We talk about rhythm at tracks like this, and sometimes you can get into such a good rhythm that you kind of lull yourself to sleep a little bit, and that wall wakes you up. So you can't fall asleep when you're that close to walls, but it's definitely good to get into a good rhythm here, because that's all this track is. It's just get into a rhythm and do not get out of it unless a caution comes out, obviously.
And Scotty Stevens and Garrett Kinder have gotten around Cameron Combs, and Garrett Kinder's got his sights set on Scotty Stevens back here.
Garrett Kinder was all the way in the back of the field just a little while ago, and like you mentioned, already up to 7. Working on Charles Stevens, up 9 spots from his.
Oh, Charles
15.
Stevens. I said Scotty, didn't
Oh, yeah, I think you did. I wasn't even paying attention to the first name you said. I just heard Stevens.
I? Yeah, you haven't paid attention to me for a long time.
That is very true. I will not argue against that. As Clint Reese is not letting Jason Warren breathe, just like the last run. But this time around, Will Paisley and William Griffith are staying a lot closer than they did last time.
Yeah, that makes you wonder there if that's Jason conserving a little more, if that's the other two pushing it a little more, or that it's hard to tell when you got guys so pretty evenly matched up here.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell at a place like Bristol, because taking it easy and running hard almost look the same, just because it's such a fast lap that it all kind of meshes together sometimes. And so The only way we can really figure out is if we can get a longer green flag run, and we'll see what car handles the best here in the top 4, top 5, as the top 4 are only separated by 0.8.
And Garrett Kinder with a move around Charles Stevens. Nice move off of turn 4.
He's working his way all the way up to the 6th spot now after that trouble. And Seaman now, he's had to bring it all the way down to a stop to avoid 2 wrecks, but here he is in P6.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this just because he's my teammate, but I've been eyeing Garrett tonight. He looked fast in practice. He looked fast in qualifying. And I think if he can stay out of trouble and not spin himself out like he almost did earlier, I think he truly has a chance at the win tonight. But unfortunately for him, and unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, there's so many people here tonight that can contest for that win that it really makes it tough, just because, like we've mentioned before tonight, that high line is just the line to go.
Yeah, I mentioned before the cream rising to the top when we were talking about those top 5 guys, but everybody in this race tonight is a good driver. These guys are all talented. They know what they're doing. It's just, it's so hard. At some tracks you're better. At some tracks you're a little bit off. So those are the guys that are getting lapped right now, but those are still some good drivers that are having a rough night.
Will Paisley trying to work on Clint Reese as they get caught up in lap traffic, but you got to be careful. If you choose to try to pass somebody on the low line and you fail, luckily he didn't, but William Griffith could have easily taken that spot away from Will. So you got to be careful when trying to make a pass on the inside.
They're running hard right next to each other here. Almost had a door job coming out of that turn. This is that's some action right there.
Yeah, to make a pass here, you really gotta follow the guy. You got to be close to him going into the turn, the middle of the turn, and then you dive down low at the exit of the turn and hope it sticks.
Yeah, another way you can pass here is I did a little bit in the truck, so I'm not these cup cars are a little less well handling, but in the trucks in that practice race, if you can get up side by side with somebody going into the turn and just dive down to the bottom and run hard into the turn, you can sweep up in front of them. You just got to be careful of the when they try to take you back over to the inside. So you got to be very careful and choose the right time to make that move. But that is one way, if you are even with somebody, to try to make a pass here. But a lot of lap traffic, and one of you, I can't remember who mentioned it, but you guys mentioned it. The more lap traffic we get, the closer this is going to bring everybody in this top 5.
Will Paisley and Clint Reese were side by side coming out of 4.
Yeah, it looks like
they are racing hard, and they're racing around lap traffic. Here comes Will Paisley again to the inside of Clint Reese at the back of Jason Warren's bumper. That was close.
No room at all here right now, as Clint Reese tries to go for the lead, but he fails. Got to watch out for Will behind him. Got to block off that lane. He does well, but he might touch the wall. Sometimes it looks like if you don't get suction cup to the wall, maybe sometimes making contact with the wall helps you get off the turn better somehow, some way. iRacing physics, I don't know, but still, you don't want to touch that wall too many times.
That's some exciting racing going on over here front.
Yeah, Garrett Kinder and it looks like Charles Stevens still, sorry. Garrett Kinder and Charles Stevens starting to find their way into the back half end of this battle. So this is really becoming a 6-car group or so. And we already have, this is a product of Bristol. When you get long green flag runs, I think it's been like a 30-lap run now. We are already up to 12th a lap down, and these drivers are getting close to Ray Page in 11th. So we're getting close to lapping the top 10. That's just how Bristol works.
Oh, here comes Clint Reese again on Jason Warren.
Oh, he dives in deep, but he's not able to beat him out of the turn, and Warren is going to use that high line's momentum to clear Reese once again. This is why you want to be in the lead if you can, because it's so hard to pass. The yellow
Caution
flag is out. Spencer Gay.
Aida Bashemi found himself caught up again here in some trouble.
Spencer Gay, the front end of his car is all kind of missing, so maybe he and Joe Buscemi
got the 8
into
and the
it.
99.
Oh, we had 2 separate wrecks then. If you take a look at my screen here, Philip Manzo and Spencer Gay get together as Philip Manzo gets into the wall and hard damage to that 11. And then if we go over here to...
Yeah, the 8 come up into the 01 and spun in front of him. The 01 continued. The 8 spun down to the apron.
Oh, that's Mickey, it looks like. Trying to find it. Maybe I'm too far ahead here. Yeah, I think I am.
And I think here at lap 65, we might see some pit takers, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many tire sets they gave them tonight, but you'd figure.
Here they come.
And they got to come in.
They have 3 sets in the pits.
Oh, then absolutely.
And the leaders are coming in.
If they're in their pit window right now and, you know, you have 3 sets, absolutely I would come down right now. Take advantage of, you know, you don't want to pit if you don't have to just because of track position. Is Clint Reese... Oh, I thought he scooted past his pit sign, but he made it. No, he didn't. He's going to lose. Watch Clint Reese here. He's going to lose multiple positions as he was past his pit sign, and he didn't realize it for a while. So he's just up on the right sides, and he's going to lose a lot.
He's lost a lot.
But, yeah, you don't want to pit every time to get tires, obviously.
He's staying in for repairs, too.
You don't want to pit if you don't have to, if it's unnecessary, but you don't want to leave too many sets of tires sitting on pit road, and I would think Clint Reese would try to get out of here, but yep, before he goes a lap down, there he goes.
I think this is a good spot. I don't know if you can make it on fuel from here, but this is a great spot to make it on one more pit stop.
And we had drivers stay out. I think, no, just drivers that are getting a wave around, which is going to be a lot of drivers because we had up to 11th, like I mentioned, a lap down. So you're going to have a lot of people all the way probably up until, no, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of drivers getting at least 1 lap back, but not everybody's going to be getting back on the lead lap. Looks like Chuck Phelps did stay out, though, so we're going to have one person on those old tires, and as you guys very well know, it's very easy to spin the tires here. Oh, nope, never mind. He goes around the pace car. It's showing him in the lead.
He's tail end of lead lap.
Huh, it's showing him in the lead right now. That's weird.
Yeah, that's how they start across the start-finish line. He was in the lead 41 seconds behind second.
Oh, no, like mine shows updated. Mine doesn't show like when they cross the start-finish line. It shows updated and it's showing him in the lead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's stopping now. I'm waiting for the pace car again. So I'm delaying this caution here to figure out what's going on exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Usually if you're in a hosted session and, oh my God, the pace car just goes through the wall, that's pretty realistic there.
I wish I could do that.
I think Chuck came into the pits as the caution came out.
He's talking. I have it muted, but I see he's talking, so I think they're trying to figure out what to do here. Maybe just give him an EOL and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's saying on my screen that he's pit.
He pit 1 lap before Jason Warren, so he either entered a closed pit or he was on pit road when the caution came out.
Well, I'm not sure, but Chuck Phelps in the lead, and Jason Warren going to have to start second. The green flag's out. We're going to see Jason Warren gets a really nice restart. Chuck Phelps on the bottom struggling, so that's going to give the lead back to Jason Warren, and here comes Will Paisley behind him.
Will Paisley followed up close by the 12 of William Griffith, and there's our guy Garrett Kinder, and Tanner Marr is still racing up to keep that top 5 spot.
And Clint Reese, with just 11 cars on the lead lap, him staying in pit road longer, he stayed in pit road to fix that damage because he knew he had the time and because he knew that there was only 11 cars on the lead lap. So he only fell back to 11th, and he's already back up to 9th and working here to try to pass Scotty Stevens along with Cameron Combs.
Yeah, that was damage he picked up at the start of the race when he missed that shift, so that was a smart move right there. You've already missed your pit board. You're already going to lose spots. Might as well stay in there and get it fixed. And only drop back to 11th.
Yeah, you might be right, Sam. Might be exactly what he did right there.
as now he's going to move on Cameron Combs, who chose the inside line to try to pass Tanner Marr, but Clint Reese using that outside, and oh, he touches the wall. I thought he might actually make a pass on Cameron Combs and Tanner Marr, but Tanner moves up smartly before he can get there. But yeah, Clint Reese making moves. He's shown speed all race long right behind Jason Warren, and he's starting to show it here in the middle of the pack.
That was a heck of a dive coming under Tanner Marr and in front of Cameron Combs. I don't know how he split that.
He is.
Yeah, he's going to give those new tires a workout here early.
He is rumbling through the field right now. He is just leaving everybody behind right now as he's working on the inside of Chuck Feltz for the 5th position, and then Garrett Kinder, who is a second ahead of him. So after he passes Chuck, which he has some clean air in front of him until he gets all the way up to Garrett Kinder. Speaking of Kinder, he's the 4th car in this 4-car pack here that's kind of ran off from everybody else. As you see, we're on the back of Jason Warren here. Jason Warren, Will Paisley, William Griffith, and Garrett Kinder, your top 4. Jason Warren makes some contact with the wall. We've seen that a lot here tonight.
He's not going to have any paint left on that right side.
Yeah, it looks like he was waiting for that lap car to move lower, and he didn't, so he kind of had to adjust on the fly there. It shows you how skilled some of these guys are, because not only are you short track racing with little reaction time and racing for position, then you're weaving in and out of lap traffic at the same time. Like, I don't know how they're doing it right now. This is some impressive stuff.
Clint Reese starting to get closer to these guys. If you look in the back, there's the black number 2. He's starting to get closer to the back bumper of Garrett Kinder.
Yeah, I think Darrell Waltrip once called it like putting a frog in a blender.
That is a perfect visual right there. We do call it the Rogue Swirl 150.
Yes, we do. And we are swirling.
These front 2 starting to put some distance in between themselves and William Griffith there in 3rd. So Jason,
big pack racing going on back here with around Chuck Feltz back here, Tanner Marr and Cameron Combs. Some tight racing, and these guys are holding it well.
Jason Warren and Will Paisley starting to show their long, or at least medium run speed as they're running away from William Griffith and Garrett Kinder right now. Garrett Kinder looks like he's starting to try to find a way around Griffith as Griffith gets loose. So I'm not going to put anything against Griffith, but maybe just starting to lose some speed, and Garrett Kinder trying to find a way around him.
We do have an update here. The 7, Jeff Paisley's internet crashed on him, and he is out of the race. It actually happened to me, too. I did lose connection there for a good 5 minutes, and I had to reload back into the session. But so he's not the only one, but Jeff Paisley is going to be done for the night.
Tough luck for him.
Texas ice.
I would blame that, but I think he's out in California. So.
Yes.
Well, we can still blame Texas. Why not?
Here goes Garrett Kinder to the outside. He's going to hit the wall. He tries to go to the outside of William Griffith, and that is some pretty heavy contact to the outside wall, and more contact.
Oh, and again.
Let's see if he can get around him cleanly this time. 3rd time's a charm, and he finally does. William Griffith gives up 2 positions. Now Garrett Kinder has found his way around him along with Clint Reese. They're going to try to start making their way towards Will Paisley and Jason Moore now.
That, to me, looked like a courtesy pass there by the 12. I think he just gave them those positions knowing they were faster, but Kinder found the wall nonetheless.
Oh, lap car is real slow in front of him. Oh, boy. Oh, and Garrett Kinder loses it. Oh, what a save.
Oh, what a save.
I think we got to take a second and look at that, boys.
I think Clint Reese might have backed off a little bit to let Garrett Kinder back out there, realizing that he, kind of gave him a little bumper. I don't think that was intentional.
Let's take a look at this.
That one.
Just gets loose, and oh,
boy.
What a save.
We call him the Reaper, and he damn near met him right there.
Gonna need a little shot of that bullet bourbon after that.
Oh, yeah.
Will Paisley, by the way, took the lead away from Jason Warren and is running away.
Oh, wow. Oh, and here comes Clint Reese. underneath Kinder, making a run towards Warren.
Kinder, maybe it looks like he used up a lot of his stuff early. And he does have some rear damage now, Jason Warren does. If we go on here with Garrett Kinder, look at the back bumper of that car if we can get a good visual of it. That has some damage to it, so it might be Warren hitting the right side of or his right side on the wall, but he's definitely starting to slow down here.
Yeah, I'm watching it back right now. Let's see if I can figure out what's happening here.
They were in lap traffic, so I'm not sure if that hasn't do anything with it, or if Will Paisley has just gained that much speed, and that very well might just be it. But he is now 1.4 seconds ahead of Warren and everyone behind him.
Oh boy, it looks like Jason Warren got caught up in some lap traffic here. Checked up, Will Paisley went underneath, ended up 3 wide, and got a little banging into the wall here and from the car behind him. So that's where that damage came from. That's tough luck.
3 wide at Bristol. That's something you don't want to hear.
With a lapped car, but that's short tracks.
Yeah. You never want to hear your spotter here go 3 wide, you're in the middle.
Jason Warren working on Tyler Rice now, putting him he's already another lap down due to Will Paisley, but Clint Reese getting a little impatient now, trying to get around Garrett Kinder. He's been stuck behind him for a little bit now. We know that 2 Machine has a lot of speed behind it. He just hasn't found his way to the lead yet in this race, as we're just about to reach halfway of this race here at Bristol. And Clint, he just wants to get the lead, because I think with that car and clean air could really dominate this race, but he just hasn't found himself there yet.
Side by side.
I got to point out how patient that 2 car's been too, because there's been several times where he could have moved the guy, forced the issue a little bit, or at least let him know he wanted to get by, but he hasn't. He's been patient, waiting for picking his spots and just working through the field.
Getting around him the hard way, running that inside line.
Yeah, we know Garrett isn't going to give it up that easy, even if he uses the wall a little bit.
Yeah, Garrett Kinder and Easy, when you're trying to get around him, do not mesh at all.
No, they don't.
And this is helping Warren out for sure. I mean, Warren was looking like he was going to get passed by Kinder, and now with these 2 battling, Warren can kind of stretch himself out away from this battle for third, and he's not anywhere near the lead right now, but at least he's not in a battle. As we are down to 96 laps to go here at Bristol. Wrecking in front of him, Warren!
More trouble with that traffic.
Oh, man.
That should bring out a caution. He is sitting at the start-finish line.
I would imagine.
Looking the wrong way.
A little late on that caution, wasn't it?
That's why I hate iRacing sometimes.
A lot of damage to that car. And unfortunately, and I don't want to blame it on lap traffic. If I'm being honest with you guys, it looks like he got a little impatient and took them 3 wide. And we'll watch it over here. Yeah, he just took him 3 wide, and Philip Manzo did nothing wrong.
No, he came down trying to split him. Thought he was clear and just wasn't.
Yeah, and he got the wall a little bit before that, so that might have broke him loose and kind of sent him that direction.
That's possible too, yeah.
And now we got pit stops happening once again, and this is going to, I don't know the exact pit window, but I think they're good with getting fuel here. They have to be good the rest of the way. With Bristol, you're usually thinking at least like 100 laps is a fuel run at least. So I think if they just get fuel and full 4 tires here, they'll be good the rest of the way.
That if they can avoid the wall.
Yeah. You can only make it.
Take 2 here. I haven't seen anybody.
I would doubt
is Kinder going to beat him out?
Kinder beats him out of pit road.
Oh, good job.
But yeah, I completely doubt that anybody takes 2 tires. You got to take advantage of being on pit road and just take 4.
Yeah, but that's usually when you get that one guy going, I'm going to try 2.
Maybe if it was, later in the race, but yeah, with 92 laps to go, probably not smart. And we got Chuck Felt staying out, but I think he's going to come down pit road as he's ducking down there.
Well, we have a lot of smart racers in the league, but we do have a lot of them fueled by liquid courage, so that could be an issue.
Yeah,
I
and
might have a little bit of that here with me tonight.
With Bristol, you have the I didn't think we would, but with 25 cars here tonight, we actually do have 2 cars that have to pit on the backstretch.
Yeah, that dual pit lane can be tricky. That is for sure.
I wasn't sure if we'd get any, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense that we only have 2. But we do have a couple of guys, Chuck Feltz and the 99 of Brandon Wallace, who do have to pit on the backstretch and then go all the way through that front stretch. Or no, they don't. Okay. I didn't know if they had to go through the front stretch themselves, so it doesn't look like they do. As, yeah, you mentioned it, Dad. Garrett Kinder and Clint Reese beat Will Paisley out of pit road, and that'll put them 1-2. And I mentioned before that caution came out that Clint Reese has had a really good car. He's just not been able to get in the lead with it. This is his chance. But also, this is the first time that we've seen Garrett. We saw Garrett Kinder get loose earlier, and we've seen him be fast, work through the field. So this is the first time we're going to get to see him have clean air. I mean, there's just so many cars here that can win this race. There's no way you can call it right now.
No, all the way back, Ray Page, Chuck Feltz, back in 10th. Those are the guys on the lead lap right now. You got Josh Oswald just a lap down, could get a lucky dog and come back and move through the field. This is still wide open.
Yeah, we did reshuffle the deck here a little bit, so we're going to see how how the cards get dealt from here. This is going to be fun.
Yes.
Here, Joey Buscemi got a black flag. He's going to move to the back EOL for entering a closed pit. And we're underway. Green flag.
Garrett Kinder gets a nice jump. Clint Reese going to try to maintain that second position. He's going to get a really good run, and he's going to use the inside. And if he doesn't make the pass and he doesn't, move back quick enough, Will Paisley's going to cover that hole and take second.
Oh, we got a wreck on the front stretch. I believe.
Ooh, Tanner Marr looks like he's a part of it.
Tanner Marr. Caution is out.
Chad Canal spotter pack did not like that one.
He cussing you out in your ear?
Well, he is.
As let's check out what happened to Tanner here. It just gets loose, and we've seen that before. We saw it out of.
Oh yeah.
We saw it earlier on the front stretch. Someone spin out. So, Matt mentioned it. These cars can get loose and just dart to the left any part of the track here at Bristol, and you saw that with Tanner Marr. He was in the middle of the backstretch, or the front stretch, sorry, and it spun out halfway through.
Yeah, I got to take Tanner Marr off that list of potential winners now, because that front end of that car is beat up.
We tend to have that bad habit throughout the league too, of when we pit, we come back out on cold tires, we forget to let those tires settle in, because they will sneak up and just jump and bite you before you're even realizing it. And I think that might have been what happened too.
Yeah, there's a couple of tracks where you can get away with them cold tires at the beginning, but these short tracks, especially here at Bristol, they don't come into the third lap. You can really push it hard on the third lap, but you got to watch it. Getting up to that. And that was an example.
Garrett Kinder, he's right now 6th in the points as he sits here at Bristol, and he does not have a win this season. So he's trying to get that first one tonight, and he's not in a bad position to do that. We're coming down to 75 laps to go, I believe. No, 85. Yep, I'm right. 85 laps to go, and Garrett Kinder has a chance to get his first win of the season. But, we have a lot of suitors up here that could get a first-time win. William Griffith back there in, looks like, 4th right now. He could get his first win of the season. And with Tanner Marr wrecking himself, that kind of, I think he was going for a win his first win as well. So there's still some guys up here that are looking to get their first win on the season and are in a good position to do so.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet when your first win comes at Bristol.
Yeah, I would take a win at the Bristol Speedway anytime. Give a quick shout out to our sponsor here, real quick, Rogue Swirl. Check them out on Facebook. Rogue Swirl for home decor. Personal friends of mine, grew up with them. They do some custom paints and some vinyl stuff. A lot of different things for home decor. It's real unique. It's real cool. I got a couple of them hanging in the living room right above me now. So give them a check.
Yeah, we'll go check that out.
And when I got with my friend Aaron about it, I just thought Rogue, Swirl, and Bristol sounds good. So,
well, yeah.
Right.
Swirl and going around a half-mile track where you run like 15-second laps.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the first time I came here to Bristol to watch a race, 500 miles, I left really dizzy.
Are you sure that wasn't the beer there, Sam?
It might have had something to do with it, but I'm pretty sure it was watching the cars go around real fast.
Well, these cars here on track here tonight are looking forward to going back around this track really fast. And Garrett Kinder going to lead them to it. Pace car pulls off, and he is off instantly. The green flag is out. He catches a lot of people off guard there as Clint Reese and Will Paisley, William Griffith all maintain that top four. But Cameron Combs going for that fourth position. William Griffith there up on the top. And Cameron Combs takes advantage of the early run on that bottom.
Ooh, Cameron Combs gets a little shot from the 12 there as he's working his way up through the field.
You don't get to make contact with somebody's back bumper in the middle of the turn too often without turning them. There goes William.
Oh, there.
Oh,
There you
no.
go.
Ah.
And we've got Jason Warren collected again. And
There goes Warren.
caution.
Oh, that Warren's about to bring out one. There he is.
There it
That's
is.
a tough night for him. Tough. That car's looking more like a modified right now.
I have seen Jason Warren, I believe in an Xfinity car, race from the back of the field to the front with no front end. So I would not count him out quite yet, but his luck is not on his side at this moment.
If he's still got an engine.
Exactly.
He almost had that thing saved, too.
Yeah, that's a rough looking car right there, and if you can get that thing in winner's circle, wow. But
That would
unfortunately,
definitely be one for the record book.
unfortunately, with that wreck, he's going to be caught behind the leaders and is going to go a lap down.
Oh boy. It's a super talented field too. It's gonna be a big makeup there.
And Josh Oswald's got back on the lead lap running in 10th, so we mentioned him before. Watch out for that guy.
Tell you what, it's been some exciting stuff to watch though.
Yeah, it has, and they put together some nice laps here tonight. There's been some great driving going on.
Yeah, there was that run where we had like 6 cars within a second of each other, and they were racing hard and not wrecking. That was the biggest thing, was you can have a great run between 6 drivers and then have a wreck, but for a while there, they were keeping it clean and racing each other hard.
Yeah, none of those were the ones that brought out the caution that stopped it. You know, every caution here tonight has not been a product of bad driving. It's just been a product of either getting loose, getting tight in tight racing situations, trying to navigate through lap traffic. Nobody's done anything really wrong. It's just a product of racing. That stuff happens.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll see a lot of it seems to start with a single car, one getting loose, maybe one off the wall. I mean, it's not anybody turning a guy or over driving or anything like that. This is just a classic short track racing here, really.
And some great respectable driving with Clint Reese, tapping into Garrett Kinder earlier, getting him loose, backing off, and letting Kinder save it and get back up on track. So, 77 laps to go. One big, long green flag stretch. What do you think?
Hey, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'll say it again. That Rockingham race, 74 laps. So
I know.
let's go 76 or 74. I think we're coming up on. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get this going. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun finish, regardless of what happens, whether we have 3 cautions or no cautions. But obviously, as a race fan, not a caution fan, the people who come into racing and like cautions, but as a race fan, you want to see those long green flag runs to the end, and maybe we'll just get one here with Garrett Kinder, Clint Reese. The front row, the green flag is out. Clint Reese trying to stay ahead of Will Paisley. He wants to stay in that second position so he can be the one to try to battle Garrett Kinder for the lead as
Scotty Stevens.
Oh, looks like him and Brandon Wallace get together here.
Yeah, one came up, one went down. I'm not really sure what happened there.
I don't know. I mean, unbiasedly here, it looks like Brandon Wallace really just went up. I'm not sure Charles Stevens really went down too much.
That is a cautions breed cautious.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A track like this, when you mention cautions breed cautions, this is definitely a track that amplifies that. As Will Paisley down pit road. I'm a little surprised to see this because we really haven't had much green flag runs on these tires.
I wonder if he didn't get some damage somewhere.
William Griffith has some damage. He's sitting there in pit road. He's down at least a lap or two now. Oh, no, he's down 6 laps. I apologize. Sad to see for that. A lot of cars here tonight that were fast that are just having unfortunate nights.
Yeah, Will Paisley had something he didn't like with his car. He's sitting there in pit lane getting it fixed. Took a little extra time to get some damage fixed.
Yeah, if you need to get damage fixed, it doesn't hurt. You're like, hey, I'm going to go get this damage fixed. I'm going to get me 4 fresh tires. And he's only going to restart 10th, so it's not like he goes back to 20th or something like that. He's going to restart 10th and not a bad position. Like I mentioned, not too many green flag runs or laps on these tires for these other drivers, but, you know, you had to get that damage fixed anyway, so might as well have a little bit fresher tires.
And I think that's his last set, too, so he's made his bed.
I'll tell you what, if the yellow flag keeps waving, I would want to be one guy on this track, and that would be that 76 Garrett Kinder.
Yeah.
Jason Warren still sticking it out, getting that damage fixed, which there is a lot of it, but he's trying to fight to the end. He'll either get that motor will either end on him or he'll get wrecked, but he will not quit here tonight.
Yeah, he will not bow out. He's going to get every point he can when he's in a race.
Jason Warren with that modified is still in the top 10.
Yeah, and these cautions are really helping Warren because I feel like he'd maybe go a lap down with all that damage. That car cannot be running at full power right now. So I really think these cautions are helping him out. It's not allowing these leaders to get to lap traffic and eventually get to him, which is keeping him in that top 10 on the lead lap. But I'm not sure if his motor is damaged.
On that one. I think he was a lucky dog on that one and got the end of the line. So, yeah, it's still helping him. Yeah, if he can stay in the top 10, get a few cautions, get some damage fixed, he can salvage a decent finish out of this.
Also, I'd like to point out real quick, Cameron Combs in third. He's been he was up here early, but he's been shuffled back really in the back half of the top 10 all night long. And once again, he is your points leader in this series. So this is big. Him and Clint Reese here together once again, as Clint Reese is second, he's third. So Combs trying to advance that points lead over Clint, and Clint trying to catch that second win of the season and try to edge closer to Cameron.
And we're green.
Cameron Combs also has a short track victory this season at North Wilkesboro, if I am not mistaken, so he is no stranger to this kind of racing.
Yeah, you're correct, North Wilkesboro. So he's going to try to get it done tonight.
Clint Reese is making his presence known behind Garrett Kinder there. He's not doing anything wrong, but he's back there knocking on the door going, hey, I'm still here, buddy.
Those two have been hooked up all race. If you remember, they were working their way through the field together with that 2 behind that 7-6. And there they are, 1 and 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the top 4 have started to separate themselves. Scotty Stevens, a name that we have not heard a lot tonight up here. He is up 15 spots. Let's go through that a little bit. I'm looking at the field. In this top 10, we have Scotty Stevens, who started 19th and 4th. Michael Swink behind him in 5th, started 21st. Josh Oswald started 22nd. He's up to 6th. And Chuck Feltz, who started 23rd, is up to 8th. So we have a lot of big movers who have stayed through these wrecks, found their way, hopefully clean through the wrecks or not much damage, and into the top 10. Impressive run from a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, that really is, and that's no small feat to survive a few wrecks.
Garrett Kinder to the wall. He's going to wreck Clint Reese.
Oh, no.
Garrett,
some tough luck.
Garrett hit the wall out of the turn and nowhere to go for Clint Reese. And even worse news for Clint Reese. That looks like that puts, nope, not Cameron Combs in the lead, but I'm not sure if they do EOLs in this series, but if they did, then that would put Cameron Combs into the lead, and that is the second to last thing he would want to see out other than getting in this wreck. So first of all, let's check out what happened. Garrett Kinder into the wall and unfortunately tags Clint Reese, and big damage to that car. The only positive to spin out of this, hopefully that motor isn't too damaged. Let's take a look inside the car. We can't see his temps or anything. But if that damage is still, or if that motor is still alive, his water temps and oil temps aren't too high, he's still, the top 10 is the only cars on the lead lap. Oh, a little bit of contact between cars there. But the worst Clint Reese is going to be is 10th if he goes and gets that damage fixed. So he's not out of it yet.
I'll tell you one thing. There's nobody that feels worse about that than Garrett Kinder himself. Because that's not the way he wants to maintain the lead, and we all know that.
Speaking of the lead,
I feel almost worse for Garrett than I do for Clint, because I just know how bad that he hates seeing something like that happen.
I think I've seen that as a product of Clinton getting down underneath him, racing him down the front stretch. And I think it was more of a Garrett making sure he was giving him some room, and he hit the wall, and the wall forced him to lose control to come down on Clint Reese.
Yeah, you could be right.
Speaking of the lead, Cameron Combs does take the lead after that. So he was in third, being patient, and because of that wreck, it's unfortunate, obviously. You never want to see a wreck like that, but Cameron Combs, he'll take it. He'll take the lead.
Yeah, you can feel bad all day long, but if you're sitting in P1, you're just going to go ahead and take it.
Absolutely. So now we're going to see those names that I mentioned, Scotty Stevens, Michael Swink, and Josh Oswald, now all into the top 5, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So, I mean, we could get a winner tonight here that started in the outside of the top 20.
Michael Swink's another one that's kind of sneaky, silent, and consistent. He's another one that's improved a great amount in the last several months in our league, and he was kind of a mid to back pack guy when we started all this, and now he's a consistent top 10 runner. And even here on these short tracks, that's because Full Sun recruited him, and now you're seeing him turn into one of these short track ringers. So that's not surprising, but it's good to see.
See if the lights go off in the pace car. They do, and we will go back to racing with 56 laps to go here at Bristol. As no matter if we're under caution or under green, laps tick by very quickly here, as we're only having 40-second caution laps. So it doesn't matter if you're running 15-second race laps or 40-second caution laps. Laps go by very quickly, and we're almost down to 50 laps to go.
We got that 17 car. It's worked his way in the top 5.
You missed me.
The green flag is
Terrible.
back out. Cameron Combs keeps the lead on the restart. Scotty Stevens going to fight Garrett Kinder for that second spot, but that high line's going to prevail, it looks like.
And then we got Josh Oswald back up to 4th now, but he's going to have to fend off that 93 Will Paisley working inside him. That's not going to be an easy job right there.
Will Paisley, we mentioned he took tires while fixing that damage, and we're just about to find out how good those tires are compared to these other drivers, and he is passing on the inside against these guys, not even the outside.
Yeah, I think those new tires are definitely making a difference here.
I mean, that's the way I'd have to do it too. If I'm going to take new tires, you better use them quick if you're going to pick up a few spots on the inside, because, you know, here in a few laps, you won't be able to do that anymore.
Cameron Combs, your leader. Garrett Kinder now trying to track him down. He was in the lead, and then he made that contact with the wall and with Clint Reese. And speaking of Clint Reese, he is now in that 8th position. Let's go a little bit of a ride-along to hear if we can hear any, see if that thing is down on power. It's meeting really high RPM, so it looks like he's full power right now, and that still gives him the chance. He does have a lot of people to pass, though, and it's going to be tough the later this run goes on.
Oh, and Will Paisley loses it on the front stretch, and he is in the wall.
Oh, no. Big wreck! And Clint Reese gets through it along with these other drivers who were able to get through it, and unfortunately, I think I heard you say Josh Oswald gets collected. Oh, and that motor's done.
It is. That is too bad. I mean, that goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the race, that you do not have a line of sight coming through these corners. So if there's trouble ahead, you're not going to see it until you're in it. And I think that's exactly what happened to Josh right here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go cockpit view with him just to see what it looked like from his point of view. I don't know. I think he could see it.
Oh, he just doesn't know where to go. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's one of those, like you mentioned, you can see what's happening, but just almost nowhere to go. He sees him on the high line right here, and he's thinking, oh, okay. And then, boom, he starts coming down and nowhere to go.
Oh. I mean, that car just stopped dead in the water. Usually you expect it to keep spinning in or out, and it just kind of stopped. So that's tough.
He's trying to limp that car around, and once that smoke stops coming out, usually that means the motor's done. So as long as that smoke is still pouring, maybe that motor isn't completely done. But it's going to be tough for him to go out on track and not blow that thing up.
Yeah, that's a product of, you hope the guy that spun and hit the wall is locked down the brakes and can lock himself staying high, and you're going to go low and go underneath, and sometimes the track won't let you stop.
Yeah, that progressive banking that we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, with how high that banking is, it really is hard to stop that car on the high line. He was going at such a high rate of speed that once he hit that wall head on, it just bounced him back down to the bottom line.
And you know, Will's pumping the brakes hard trying to get it to stop, so because he doesn't want to come down and collect anybody, but it's just sometimes there's nothing you can do.
That Clint Reese did a really nice job at avoiding that wreck, and that puts him in 6th right now, so he still has a chance. I know there's more than just Clint Reese, but I've been trying to pay attention to him after that wreck to see if maybe he still had a chance to win this race. But right now, Cameron Combs in the lead, and just like Warren, Cameron Combs can be hard to pass once he gets that lead.
And Warren is, speaking of Jason Warren, he's coming out of the pit still on the lead lap, P8. He has, I don't know if he didn't have a hood before or not, but maybe he got a new hood at least.
Hey, while we don't have a front end for you, let's give you a hood.
Yeah, you know, better than nothing, right?
If someone like throws something.
I'm sorry, Zach. The 93 William Paisley looks like he is retired from the race, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Maybe put a hood on there just in case a fan throws a water bottle at your car and you don't want it to hit your motor, I guess.
Well, not in this league. You're going to be getting hit with beer bottles.
Beer bottles, sure.
So we got Clint Reese and Chuck Veltz, who were the last, they're on 15-lap old tires compared to the guys in front of them running up on 50 laps. So I wonder if that'll help make a difference, help make them, get them a move to the front.
45.
If Jason still has power, he's got fresh tires. I mentioned that was his last set of tires, so we'll see if he can make some moves too.
45 laps to go, and we go back to green. The pace car's off. The green flag is out. Cameron Combs using that inside very well. Gets a nice jump, and he's going to get away clean. They're battling behind him strong. Clint Reese, Michael Swink, and Garrett Kinder, Scotty Stevens all battling it out for that second position right now. Scotty on that bottom line, but not going to be able to make it work.
There goes Clint Reese making his move now.
And he's going to dive up in front of the 30. Doesn't even have to dive up in front of him. He had an easy pass there. And now he sets his eyes on the 53 of Scotty Stevens now for that third position. Still time for a lot of these drivers to make moves, and including Garrett Kinder, who is following Cameron Combs into turn 3.
Clint Reese already working on that third spot. I tell you what, that 2 car looks about the same as it did when this started. So he is definitely not out of this one.
Up to the third position is Clint Reese. He's on those, and like you mentioned, Dad, he's on those fresher tires than these other drivers. So he not only has an advantage there, but he's also been fast all night. So that only helps him. But right now, Garrett Kinder and Cameron Combs, the 2 cars he has to pass to get to that lead spot, and it's not going to be an easy feat. Garrett Kinder all over the back bumper of Cameron Combs right now.
Well, I got to think Jason Warnbecker still got some decent engine pressure. He's only about half to 3/4 of a second off the leader. So he's trying to salvage a top 10 here, running in 8th. So it'd be a good run for him in the condition that he's in.
Yeah, that car is definitely running slow, but hey, again, props to him. He is sticking it out, and he's still out on track. So that is very admirable to stick it out, even with a wrecked car like that. He's fighting all the way till the end, till lap 200. And, well, lap 200 can't come any quicker for Cameron Combs because he has Clint Reese and Garrett Kinder following him very closely.
How many times tonight have we seen that, Garrett, having Clint Reese right on Garrett Kinder's bumper?
Yeah, it's been all night, really.
I was curious how this was going to play out when he got back up, and it looks like we're on replay here.
Well, he caught him really, really quick, but catching a guy and passing him here is 2 different things.
Cameron
Combs. Nice block.
That I mentioned earlier. Yeah,
With
we
the lap
talked.
car.
Yeah, set a pick with the lap car, and Garrett Kinder does exactly that, and that gets him the lead spot.
And it's not getting easier for Cameron either, because now he's got to deal with that too.
Yeah, the lap car did exactly what he was supposed to do. Just hold his line. We've got a wreck on the front stretch. And no caution.
Still green. Oh, nope. There it goes.
There it is.
Oh, is that Jason Warren?
I knew I saw 2 cars.
Jason Warren in the pits.
I guess I got to stop talking about Jason because I think I jinxed him.
I think that might be the end of it for Warren, honestly. Oh, him.
Well, I
and
guess I
Phillip.
don't have to talk about him anymore, huh?
Him and Philip Manzo get together here. Let's check this out. Philip just looks like he comes up into the 32. Absolutely, and that has to be the finishing blow right there. Oh, yeah, look at it. It's up in smoke. He's going to get a tow. Unfortunate night for Warren. I mean, really unfortunate. And we got pit stops. Garrett Kinder down pit road, along with Cameron Combs, Scotty Stevens, and Michael Swink. So we got, looks like Mickey Isaac, Chuck Phelps, Ray Page, and Clint Reese all staying out. So 4 cars pitting, 4 cars staying out.
Well, I think that's a great move right there. Take those 4 freshies.
I think Isaac might be a lucky dog. So
well, we saw what Clint did going through the field on new tires, and now it looks like he might get the script flipped on him here a little bit.
I think that's a fantastic move to get those 4 freshies here with what's going to be about 29 laps to go. Is it going to be enough to get up there, though?
So it looks like Garrett Kinder, who started the train of pit stops, and now Ray Page down pit road. So he's doing it a lap later. So Garrett Kinder going to start 3rd on this restart, it looks like, right behind our leader, Clint Reese. And I couldn't agree more with you, Dad, that the script has really just flipped here. Clint Reese may be out of tires, and that's why he stayed out. And guys like Garrett Kinder, Cameron Combs, and the guys behind them had an extra set, and they go down and get them. This is going to be a sprint to the end, and it's going to be a good one.
Just got to be a little careful there on them first couple of laps with them fresh tires.
Oh, Sam, I was just thinking that. I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, if I could just get in his team chat and remind him to be patient for a couple of laps, because you know he's got good tires. He's gonna want to go, and that's when trouble happens.
Yeah, if you remember earlier, Kinder almost spun himself. He had to save it on fresh tires, so maybe he's remembering that right now.
The bad thing about that is you got other guys behind you that are good racers that got fresh tires too, and you're going to want to get away from them, and everybody in there is going to want to try to get as many positions as they can as quick as possible, but they got to remember them first 2 laps, you got to let those tires come in.
And we got old Chuck Phelps found himself up front again here with no front end.
We got to love that.
Cameron Combs can't love it. He's starting right behind him.
Yeah. Knowing Chuck, he's just going to get right out of the way, I bet.
To have that car on the lead lap, but also start second. Come on.
Yeah, that's no small feat.
All right, let's set the stage a little bit. That front row, old tires, and everybody else behind them, 4 fresh Goodyear tires on those cars. So just keep an eye on those specific cars, and we're going to see what kind of moves the 76, 15, 53, and the 30, and all those cars with fresh tires can make here early on. The green flag is out. Clint's going to get a nice jump, and he's going to put some distance between the two. But with 26 laps to go, how long can he hold on?
And Cameron Combs got caught up a little bit behind that underpowered 75 car we're talking about, so he got hung up just a tad, but it looks like he's catching up quick.
Oh, he almost spins out.
That's them cold tires right there.
Absolutely. Garrett Kinder doing a nice job at being careful on those cold tires, and he is starting to catch the 2 and very quickly.
I think if I'm Clint Reese right now, my boots are shaking a little bit because he's been with Garrett all night. He knows how strong Garrett is, and now he's got fresh tires.
You got to think, though, if you put yourself in Kinder's situation, you've already accidentally wrecked Clint once tonight. Maybe he's a little gun shy. I know he's going for the win, but you know he doesn't want to wreck him a second time.
Yeah, I'm right with you on that, Zach. I mean, that's the way I would be feeling right now. I would be very gun shy knowing I just turned that guy by accident, and I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. But Garrett Kinder,
he's going to be waiting for Clint to make a mistake, but that just might not happen.
There it is.
Well, there it is. Maybe not.
Kinder, though, he is very competitive. He wants nothing less than a win, so he's going to do everything he can, but he's going to probably be very careful. But the longer he waits and the more he's careful, the more he's going to allow Cameron Combs and Scotty Stevens to get into that battle. So speaking of, he goes to the inside, and he gets loose.
No.
And the caution is out.
Case scenario.
It looked like he chose last second to go to the inside, and when he dove down there, it just got that car really loose.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, and that car just gets loose and snaps on him.
Yeah,
Scotty Stevens catches a part of it.
Too much bullet bourbon in the tank there.
Yeah, we're not talking about the gas tank. Well, there'll definitely be some bullet bourbon after this race.
From a lot of people. If they got it, they're drinking it tonight after Bristol.
Yeah, I'm not waiting.
Well, I guess that's going to narrow it down to Clint Reese, Cameron Combs, Scotty Stevens. And then we got those sneaky guys, Ray Page and Michael Swain. Can't count them out, I guess.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, we could have a guy who started outside or just inside the top 20, and we could get one of those guys to win. And they're in third, and that 53 is a chance. He started 19th, so he's trying to win this race all the way from 19th starting. So still a chance. He's starting third, and I believe he has 4 fresh tires. So he has Cameron Combs with him, who has 4 fresh tires as well. But we'll see if Clint Reese is able to get another good jump like he did, because on older tires, they're not too old tires, so I'm not too afraid of it. But sometimes you can spin those tires, and that holds up the rest of that line. Kind of like Chuck Phelps on that last restart. I'm not sure if it was because he spun the tires or just not enough engine power, but like you mentioned, Matt, that really held that line up.
Yes, 8 guys on the lead lap, and 6 of them got fresher tires than you by a lot.
Yeah, Zach, looks like we mixed in the modified series with the Cup series here by the end of this one. Which I had a lot of fun in that race the other night, being as they named it after my
your fire alarm.
Fire alarm.
You know, we didn't talk too much about Scotty Stevens tonight, but he's been hanging around the top 10 all night, but kind of quietly and running a good race. And here he is in third. He's got fresh tires, and he's a strong driver. And I look for him to make a couple of moves here.
You know, I'm seeing him without a front end, and then when I look at your screen, Zach, it looks like his car looks clean. Am I wrong here?
Let's check that out for you. Yeah, it looks like he has a front end. Just very damaged front end.
Yeah, my iRacing doesn't like him as much as yours, I guess. Because he is missing it on my screen.
I've got a little bit of a scraped up front end, but he's got one.
You see the back end of that too. It's been used up a good bit. Cameron Combs on that outside, 4 fresh tires on that car. Well, fresher than Clint Reese, so look for him if he can get a good enough jump to use that outside and take the lead here late.
I think if you finish Bristol without scratches on your car, you were in the pits. Here we go.
The green flag is out. 15 laps to go here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Here comes Cameron Combs to the inside. Clint Reese going to try to block him off with using that outside as much as he can, and he's doing a really nice job of it so far at holding that lead on the older tires.
Yeah, he is.
Cameron's making it hard for him.
He's trying that inside line. Let's hope it works out better for him than it did that 76. As we got Ray Page working on the inside for P3 back there.
Ray Page, he pit that last time as well. So he's trying to use those 4 fresh tires to his advantage, and he's going to try to pass Scotty Stevens for the 3rd position.
That's right here. You got if you're Clint Reese, you got to look at your line. You can't pay attention to what Cameron Combs is doing. You've got to hit your marks and
wrecking behind him.
Around.
Mickey Isaac. He hit the wall hard, but he's got it straight, so the green flag will stay out. And that means Clint Reese has to defend even longer for this lead, except Cameron Combs, he's staying a little bit more even with him than he's been able to these recent laps. So it's looking a little scary for Clint, but he's doing a nice job at getting a really good run off the turn and not worrying about Cameron Combs as much as possible.
I got to think Cameron's burning some tires up here way too quick.
He's going to dive into the turn.
10 laps at Bristol's nothing, so I guess he's got to go now. He's going to do it.
He's saying it's time to go time.
Man, this has been side by side for multiple laps, and Clint Reese finally wears him out. But Cameron Combs is going to keep fighting. This just shows how tough it is to pass on that inside. Cameron Combs has fresher tires, and yet that outside line with Clint Reese, he's just wearing him out. And don't forget, this is a battle between the top 2 in points. As Clint Reese touches the wall.
Kisses the wall a little bit.
And the wall again.
Oh, and I think that's all.
I
think that's it. Cameron Combs is going to dive up here. And Cameron Combs to the lead with 7 laps to go. Clint Reese is going to try to fight back, but I think that's all she wrote unless a caution comes out as Cameron Combs takes the lead late and starting to run away with it.
Yeah, he's pulling away now. I think Clint might start worrying about the 41 more than that 15.
Yeah, I don't see Clint having the tires to try to make a move like Cameron had.
as Mickey Isaac back here. It
5
looks
to
like
go.
he's a lap down now, so that's not a battle for position. 5 laps to go for Cameron Combs, your points leader, and has won 2 times on the season. He's trying to match Will Paisley for 3 for the most wins this season combined. So he's 3 laps until he matches Will Paisley for that win total, and he's just going to completely extend that points lead even further than it already was at like 52 points. But got to credit Clint Reese while we can. He is still, I mean, he's on those older tires, and he looks like he's going to at least be able to stick to the top 3, but he hits the wall there.
Page.
And Michael Swink a little bit behind him, so going to be able to edge out at least that top 3 and that back end of the podium. But Cameron Combs, he needs to get that white flag before a caution comes out, so we don't have a green-white checkered. There he goes. White flag is out. Cameron Combs one more time around, and he will collect the checkered flag for the Rogue Swirl 200 through 3 and 4 for the last time. Cameron Combs, your points leader. That's 3 wins on the season. Cameron Combs wins at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Ray Page sneaking his way up to 2nd, followed by Clint Reese in that P3 spot.
That was a great race by everybody tonight. A lot of action, a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun. That was, that was almost a textbook performance by Cameron Combs. He was patient, avoided trouble, worked his way up the field, smart pit strategy, and there he sits in winner circle. Victory lane.
He's going to let everybody pass and then burn it down. And a fair amount of space here at Bristol to burn it down, unlike some short tracks.
I would still be hitting the wall, but I'm not as good as these guys.
Right now, if I had won this race, I'd be banging off the
I
wall
think he's
so
about
hard.
to hit it.
There we go.
He's going to do a wall burnout, it looks like. This is the one thing, when I won a race earlier this morning, I did burnouts. They need to update their smoke package in iRacing, because their smoke is pretty disappointing in their simulator.
Yeah, that's pretty weak.
Great burnout by Cameron Combs, but it doesn't do it justice with how little smoke they give you.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to see his car right now.
Exactly.
Oh, he's enjoying that one too.
Maybe have to talk to iRacing
Bristol's a
about
big
that.
winner.
There goes the
And
motor.
there goes the motor.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull Cameron in here. A great race from him. Hey, Cameron, Zach, Matt, and Sam in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, 3rd win of the season. You always find a way to be there at the end like you were tonight. You hung back a little bit, I think in the back half of the top 10 throughout the race. Was that your plan to stay out of trouble and then be there at the end?
Yeah, I knew you were just going to have to survive the wrecks in the first half. Just try to stick around to the end. It was hard, especially with all the wrecking, and you just didn't know where cars were going to go. Some of them would slide up, some of them would slide down. You just never knew where to go.
Great, exciting racing there for those last 10 laps. How hard were you wheeling it, trying to get that inside line to work and get you to the front?
Yeah, I was definitely driving the wheels off it. Clint was pretty fast for being on older tires. I don't know the last time he pitted, but he was definitely running me hard. And it was tough to pass on the bottom, but I knew the fresher tires would prevail.
Yeah, man, that was some exciting stuff. I was kind of going to go where Sam went with that. Now, you've raced in this series for a while now, and you've raced up front with Clint. So what were your thoughts knowing you had, from my count, about 10 laps to pass him for the lead and knowing how good he is?
Yeah, I knew he wasn't just going to let me have it. I knew he was going to put up a fight, but I was worried he was going to stick right behind me and give me a bump and run going into the last corner, but kind of just drove away from him with the fresher tires.
All right, great race. You got any shout outs for us?
Yeah, I just want to thank Matt and Jason for letting me race in their league, and just thank everybody for putting on a good show.
Well, congratulations on the win. You put on a great show for us. We'll see you again next week.
Yeah,
Thanks.
congrats, buddy. Pleasure is ours.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Now we'll move on to second place, Ray Page, who really stayed hidden a lot of that race and secretly finds his way to that second position late. So let's get him over here. Hey, Ray, Zach, Matt, and Sam in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How y'all doing tonight?
Fantastic race from you. I'm doing great. I imagine you're doing great. Finishing second at Bristol is always a great thing to do. I was just talking about how you were kind of hidden in that race. You were just kind of chilling out, and then all of a sudden you passed Clint Reese for second there at the end. We saw you pit that last time around. Were you confident that even though you pit and we're going to fall back to around 10th, that you could fight back and get into the podium?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my better tracks, especially rolling the top like you have to do here. So it was, I knew going in, we kind of our team had already talked about going into pitting at that lap, 170 or wherever it presented with the next caution at round 170 or so. So we all knew that we could get back up there. And but yeah, man, it was a good run. I really enjoyed it. It was a great race.
Yeah, great. And sorry on our end, quiet run. We mentioned you a few times in the night running up there in that top 10. How hard was it to get through the trouble tonight?
It wasn't too bad. I guess I got lucky. A lot of stuff happened way before I got to it. When I did get shuffled back that one time, I lost it, kind of early and hit the inside wall. And then I was first couple cautions, I was going in and getting some of that damage repaired. But a lot of it, the biggest thing was just, here at Bristol, that top line is a preferred line. So, everybody wants to run up there. And when you try to dive down, it just gets so loose on the bottom when you try to turn under somebody. So just had to be patient and, kind of watch out for those lap cars. I know they caused some trouble tonight on some, some other guys, some of my teammates and stuff. But, I want to thank those guys for hanging out and cheering me on and the rest of my teammates that were still in the race, even though they were sitting in the pits.
Yeah, man, that was an impressive performance. Like you're just patient, working your way through the field, picking your spots. Similar to what Cameron did to win the race, actually. And then before I knew it, I was watching you there at the end because I knew Cameron had it in the bag, and you just went right around that 2 car, which surprised me. So I guess my big question is, have you already started the beer drinking, or is that coming next with the celebration?
That'll come next. Yeah, I didn't do any drinking before tonight. But no, man. I mean, Clint was fast all night. I think he was on a little bit different pit cycle. I think he was on tires, and so I knew that was the case. And then I think as I got close to him, I don't know what happened. It looked like he may have scrubbed the wall a little bit, and let me get by him a little bit quicker than I thought I was. I figured I'd get to him, man, but just the way Bristol is, that just trying to get around somebody, even if they're your own newer tires. It's just tough, but I was able to get him on that straightaway, so I didn't have to worry about, trying to pass him on that low side in the corner.
All right, great race. You got any shout outs for us, Ray?
Yeah, I want to thank Big Frig Coolers. They're a buddy of mine. He don't pay me a thing to run my stuff, but he gives me nice tumblers. So jump over to bigfrig.com, get you some good drinkware and coolers. And then my business, Wolfpack Racing, those guys are always supportive of me. And I want to really thank the guys over at Full Sin, man. They've made me probably doubled my abilities on iRacing just with the practice that we run. And like I said, 2 of them are sitting in the pits tonight with junk cars, and they're still sitting there rooting you on and coaching you. So really want to thank the guys over at Full Sin, Josh Oswald, Kinder, Jason, and all the rest of them, Logan, and all the rest of those guys that race with us on a regular basis. And thank you guys for putting this thing on and doing the broadcast.
Well, we love having you, Ray. I'm pretty sure in the near future we'll be interviewing you as the winner. So congratulations,
guys. And I thank the whole league, man. I know I don't know if I know you guys know, but it was 2 months ago. I was laid in the hospital with my chest open, having open heart surgery, and the messages I got from you guys, and when I started coming back and racing, it was just nothing but kudos and congratulations and get well. So I appreciate this league. It's been a great league to be a part of.
Oh, you're damn right, buddy. You're the example of what we look for in this league. So really, you're doing me the favor by being here and making the podium to boot. So man, it's fun to watch, and I'm glad to have you around.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Congrats on the podium tonight. All right, and then we'll move on finally to our third place finisher, Clint Reesta. Nice job by him, at least fighting off with those older tires, and we'll ask him about that. Hey, Clint, Zach, Matt, and Sam in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you. How's it going, guys?
Well, I know you would have rather won that race, but from our perspective, you were at least able to do a really nice job at least making Cameron Combs really earn that win with those older tires. I'm not exactly sure, so I'll start off with this. Did you have an extra set, or were you out and you just had made your bed and you had to stay out there?
Stay out. That last, or the caution that I was in where I wrecked, I had to take tires, so that's all I had. Man, I don't know, I was down on RPMs and I had a little bit of optional repair that I didn't fix.
Well, you had a great race tonight. I imagine we probably talked about you and Garrett Kinder probably more than anybody else tonight. You guys were racing really hard. You had a really hard race there against Cameron Combs for that first spot. How hard was it to hold on to that? I've seen a lot of wall scraping, not only by you, but from some other folks tonight as well.
Yeah, it was tough. My tires were gone, so I was trying to keep it off the wall. But I don't know, it sucks for Jason. Jason probably should have been up there too. I think he got caught up in lap traffic, but he was pretty fast too. He should have been up there.
Well, I didn't realize your car was under power because I was watching you. I kind of figured that you got caught up in that last caution there with Kinder, which was some horrible luck for both of you, by the way. But I mean, and I knew you took your last set, but to be under power to boot and still damn near win that race, that's impressive stuff there, bud.
Yeah, it was only 60 RPMs. It wasn't that bad, and I don't know. It probably helped with spinning the tires coming off the corner.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations on the podium finish. That was a great hard race from you tonight. You got any shout outs?
I want to thank the league. Appreciate you guys putting it on.
All right, man. Well, congrats on the podium finish tonight. Looking forward to seeing you next week.
You have a good night.
You too. All right, so that's your top three, and while I go to put the results, we'll start. Either one of you can jump out there, but final thoughts on tonight's race.
Go ahead, Matt.
You know what? It was exciting. I'm glad I didn't race in it. That's one reason why I was hoping y'all would let me join you in the booth because I do it for fun. I watch every stinking race, so I'm like, maybe I can learn a thing or two from Zach and have a little fun in the booth with you. So I appreciate that. It was exciting stuff. We saw some dominant guys up front to begin. We saw trouble often, and it was survival of the fittest and kind of an attrition thing. I mean, that's just your classic Bristol race right there. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a lot better than what I sometimes thinks Bristol's going to be a caution fest, but this wasn't. I mean, we had some, but just some racing incidents, some great racing, some tight racing. A credit to what Matt and Jacqueline and the rest of the admins in this league have put together, and really a lot of nice guys in here, and great sponsor tonight with Rogue Swirl. Thank you for being on board, and hopefully we get to see you again. And I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. And I appreciate the kind words, Sam. But this league, while I have a good group of admin around me and some original guys like yourself, this league is all about the guys that show up and race every week. It's not about us that run it or have all these crazy ideas that we make you guys go through, but it's about these drivers that we all just watched. I mean, that's what makes this league great. So I hope everybody remembers that and tunes in every week to support them. It's a great group of guys, as you can hear when they do their interviews. And we got no one better in the booth than Sam and Zach to boot.
Yeah, speaking of next week, Talladega. That 80 laps around Talladega is going to be, what are the words? Crazy, I guess you could say. Talladega is just a tough track, and it's going to be, I'm looking forward to it. I love restrictor plate racing at Talladega, so looking forward to that. And, yeah, I mean, thank you, Matt, as well for the kind words, and just all around everybody that puts the lead together, whether you're racing, you're an admin broadcaster, it doesn't matter. Everybody does their part, and makes this league what it is. So shout out to everyone that joins the booth with me every week. So you, Dad, Matt, thanks for jumping in tonight. Will Paisley and Jeff Paisley on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And so I always look forward to broadcasting this league and had fun tonight with you two. So thank you both for joining me here at Bristol. So hope you all enjoyed, unless anybody has, either of you have any sponsors or shouts. I mean, Matt, if you want to shout out Rogue Swirl, I don't know if you want to do that one more time.
Yeah, if you guys can check out Rogue Swirl on Facebook at Rogue Swirl. Home decor, custom paints and vinyl wraps. Good friends of mine, great prices. If you have a unique style like I do, if you're a Supernatural fan of the TV show, I gotta throw that out there because I have the Demon Crowley hanging on my wall from Rogue Swirl. Great stuff, good group to support. They watch almost every one of our races, even the ones they don't sponsor. So give them a like.
And catch me and Matt tomorrow night driving right here at Bristol in the trucks on Intensity Broadcasting.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Sam Wetstein, Matt Geis, myself, Zach Wetstein from the booth.